Hello, welcome back to Gas Beauty Home Tabletop Football, where we're getting back into doing the step terrace build. I've been doing a bit of sort of placement fitting with that. So as you remember, we were at this sort of stage with it, and this is where it's going to go. So I just want to shape up, you know, the sort of sizes we look at. These are the this other terrace you can see is set back on a little lip, if you remember that. So we have got a bit of room to play there if you want to sort of keep that there, a similar sort of distance back. And that leads us on to what we're doing here. Right, bear with me. Let's move these advertising boards out of the way a minute. So, if we put this step terrace close to this, what you can see, the blue and white terrace, what you can see is it's a little bit lower. Now I do appreciate we're talking about plastic figures here, so they're not real, but if I was at a football club and I was watching football over that, I might be a bit disappointed. Really, you'd want to be a little bit higher up here. And also I think if we go for that little bit of realism and lift this up, that's going to give us a few more options on things we can do. Now, if you remember, I used to have fencing all the way around here, and some of the fencing I had here when this terrace was here, and that was glued down, and then we'd replaced that and lifted this up and put some new roofing felt down, and that left me with this bit of fencing. And I want to sort of reuse that really, and incorporate it into our terrace build, almost like it was in the front there. Maybe raise this up slightly. And then you can have a sort of a little bit of a level walkway stroke standing area in this bit. And I don't know if you can spot it on the camera, but if you're, you know, it gives a bit of a gap either side, so we could do some either steps up there or, you know, like wheelchair access ramps or something like that. So what I'm thinking is, for the next stage of this, what we're going to do is raise this up some way. Now, I do have, knocking around, various scraps of timber. This came off a pallet, I think. I do appreciate that not everyone has bits of timber knocking around, but we, because of the woodland stuff, I do use a lot of pallets and whatnot, and dismantle, break them down, and use them for all sorts of things. So I tend to have a bit knocking around. Now, what I thought was we could use that as a base sort of height, cut it to shape, and cut it to length, with this bit of fence here, and then that will leave a bit of it's about 1.5 inch gap either side. We can cut that, and we can put some steps in or some of the ramps in there, and then build this terrace up from here. And that will, once we've got it in place, let me see if I can fit it in, because I've got to cut that end off, you know, so say it's about there. That will raise that up a little bit and give the spectators a better view. And then from that, we can do a few other bits and pieces. So this side, you could have sort of a entry exit with some, I don't know, put some little gates on there or something. And this side, what I'd quite like to do is build a little box on there and perhaps do some sort of like, I don't know, maybe like a club shop or something. Or perhaps we could have, because we're raised up, we could have a little entrance sort of on the back end here. It looks like some doors that could go into a club shop, or maybe lead into perhaps some sort of boxes we could put on the top. I don't know. We'll sort of see what we do at the end. But that's going to be the next stage. So basically I'm going to cut this bit of timber, I'm going to glue this in, I'm going to raise it all up, so I'll have to find some way of keeping the back up as well. Maybe another bit of timber, I don't know. And then once we got that sort of base and level all set out, I think we're going to be pretty good for building up then and doing what we want to do with the rest of it. So that's the stage you're at, and that's what I'm going to do next. So next time that should all be in place, and we will see how we get on with our stepped terrace. Right, you happy with that? Obviously you don't have to follow that along exactly as I do if you're following along, but this is really just to give you ideas of what you can do. You know, my sort of thoughts on this, it's, well, you can call it what you like really, but the all of this is, you know, the idea is you don't have to spend loads of money building a stadium if you don't want to. If you want to, that's fine. If you don't want to, then you can go down this sort of rough and ready tin pot route. Anyway, until next time, up the gas.